Hi guys, happy week 2 of distant learning. I'm Miss Riley. This video is for my 9th, 10th, and 11th graders once again. Today's kind of special. I'm real excited, and excuse my morning voice and my morning face. It's very early and I know all of us are super off schedule, but I have a special guest for you guys today. And so for your assignment for this video is I want you guys to write down 5 things that you found interesting, 5 things that you learned, just 5 things that really appealed to you that you want to share about. So make sure you number them 1 through 5, use complete sentences, make sure your name's on your paper, and you can email it to me or Instagram it to me, or once school is over, I will be giving you a date where you can drop everything off to me so I can get you your grades in. A happy reminder, this is no fault grading, so everything that you're doing can only help your grade. It will not hurt your grade. So if you're shooting for a 100% perfect score in my class, like keep doing your work and hopefully we'll get you there. So today I'm going to be interviewing a very special guest, like I said, and take notes over this because like I said, you have to write down 5 things that you've learned. All right, so here we go. So drum roll, please. My special guest is Mr. Coleton Dudley, and we are social distancing right now. If you guys do not know Coleton Dudley, he was one of my former students. I had him only 1 year his senior year, and it was my 2nd year of teaching at the old high school. Back in the day, do you remember the glitter floor?
Oh, yeah.
We had a glitter floor in the classroom, and I was a new teacher, and he was, how would you describe yourself, Coleton, in my class?
Oh, gosh. How would I describe myself? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the spot right now. That was not one of the questions that I was going to ask him. But he is a teacher now in Houston, Texas. He lives in this fancy city apartment and, like I said, teaches, what grade do you teach?
Grade.
3rd grade.
Yeah.
Reading?
Yeah, reading and writing.
Yeah, he's like a reading specialist. So I'm super proud of him, and he's working on his master's. So I'm going to ask him a couple questions about how his life is going and how it was in drum right. And yeah, I hope you guys learned some cool stuff. All right, so welcome, Coleton. Thank you for making time for me this morning. I know it's super early. All right, so tell me about growing up in drum right and how that shaped you into who you are today.
So I moved to drum right probably when I was in the 1st grade because I wanted to play football. And so my mom moved us here and switched schools, and I met some of my friends in 1st grade that I still are friends with today.
Cool.
So
That's
that
cool.
really made a huge impact on me. I still have very close friends from then. But as far as how it shaped me, oh my goodness. Well, I guess I just always kind of wanted to go out and see the world. Like I was appreciative of my experiences in drum right, but it also showed me that there's a lot out there that I haven't seen and that I want to see. And so I think that it just really opened my eyes to the different things out there in the world.
Yeah, like how big the world really is. Yeah. And how even growing up in drum right, if you still deserve that experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When did you figure out that you wanted to become a teacher?
I knew I wanted to be a teacher when in college I did this summer literacy program pretty much where I went to a low-income community in Muskogee, and I worked at a church where we over the summer had like a literacy program.
Wow.
And pretty much like doing that and having fun with the kids and teaching them how to read and stuff like that just really was fun for me, and it was very rewarding, that experience. And so that really made me solidify my interest in education. I always really loved school, and it was always fun for me, and so I want other kids to have that same experience that I did, so that's why I teach.
I love that. Yeah. Speaking of Coleton as a student, I remember on his sci-fi test he made like a 99, and he was like, Miss Riley, why did I not get a 100? And it was just so funny because you always strive for that perfect perfect score. So so since you work with kids reading and that's how you found out you wanted to be a teacher, why do you think reading is so important in today, like for the high school students? Like, why is reading important?
I think that's a hard question, but I think like the best way to answer it is just honestly, it's the most important thing in life. You can't really do anything. I mean, you can do things if you can't read, I suppose, but like it's most careers and jobs that you have, you're gonna need to be able to read and comprehend
Exactly.
what you're doing in order to do your job correctly. So I just think it's fundamental to everything that we do. And so, like, even as a high schooler, finding stuff that you're interested in. I'm not necessarily like someone who reads just for fun all the time,
Mhm.
but I do like certain books, and just reading like that really expands your vocabulary and exposes you to words that you could use in writing and stuff that you may not have before. But
Mhm.
just seeing someone else's writing style
Yeah.
really will help a lot in your own development of your writing style and stuff like that.
That's true. And the more you read and the more you write, it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at
Yeah,
it. And
exactly.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
And
sure.
I think yeah, I grew up in a bigger city, but I still love to read because it was such an escape. And I think that's a big
Yeah,
thing too.
yeah.
Is reading a good story that you're into. It's like you're not you anymore. You're that other
Mhm.
character. Um, all right, so we know that clearly you went to college because you're getting your master's now. Were you scared going when you were getting your bachelor's? Were you fresh out of high school? Were you scared going to college? Do you suggest trying to find clubs? And were you in a fraternity?
Mhm.
Do you suggest that to other younger kids who are thinking about going to college? Do you think that you should find your groups and find your friends, or do you think it's very important?
Yeah. All right. So I'll start first by just saying that, like, relative to a drum right student's experience, I feel like a lot of times in high school, I used to hear that we weren't gonna be prepared for college, just because of what we were being exposed to at school, and I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think that that's like accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you work hard and you really try and you pay attention, your teachers are doing things for a reason, and
I
so
love
like,
that. Yeah.
um, don't feel like you're not going to be prepared. You should just be confident in your own abilities. But in terms of social clubs and all those different things that you can get involved with in college, the best advice I ever got in my undergrad was your experience in college is what you make it. And so if
Yeah.
you want to be bored all day and talk to no one, then you have that right, and
Mm-hmm.
you can sit in your dorm all day and just, be to yourself, and that's perfectly fine if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
But I'm a social person. I like to meet new people and network and get new experiences, and so I recommend always to get involved with your school because your university is only as boring as you make it, and if you don't go out and actively look for things to do, you're going to get bored and you probably will think it's a lot like drum right, but if not a whole lot to do. But if you go and find things to do, then you have that right to do that too. So
Yeah, I like that. It's true when you say your university is what you make it, kind of like life. Your life is what you make
yeah,
it. Like you're in
definitely,
charge of your choices. That's very true.
definitely.
All right, so I think my last question for you is everything that's going on in the world. I only had you senior year, so what advice would you give to my older kids? Like I mean, I love my ninth graders, but my 10th, 11th, maybe some 12th graders are going to watch this as well. What advice would you give them right now for everything that's going on in the world?
Uh, well, I can't give a whole lot for what's going on in the world, but I mean, I would just say that just in life in general, I really was looking at this quote on the wall,
Uh-huh.
because I tell my third grade students
What does it
something
say? I
like
can't
that a
really see,
lot.
I can't really see that.
Push yourself because no one else is gonna do it for you. I
Yeah.
would say it sounds very harsh, and but we all go through challenging times. We all go through things that are not pleasant to our experience, but that's what shapes you and makes you who you are. And so, what defines your character is whenever you get knocked down, are you gonna get back up and keep trying, or are you gonna give up? And I would say like the best advice I could give is just to be you and go and get whatever you want and really go for your dreams and challenge yourself to never give up because
Mhm.
literally the only person who's going to stop you from achieving what you want is the person you look at in the mirror every morning. And so my best advice is just to stop feeling sorry for yourself if you do and go get what you want, and just do it like my shirt says, like Nike, like just do it.
Yeah,
That's if that's what you want to do, be your very best person and do your best always because that's just really should be your minimum, honestly.
I love that.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. So label your paper, Mr. Dudley's interview. Thank you so much for being here. He's the first student I've ever had that is now a teacher, so I'm like super proud of him. He's now turned a friend, so yeah, I love my job too, and so I hope that you continue to love teaching. It's such an important job. And speaking of loving my job, I love you guys. Stay safe, keep your circles close, and I will see you soon. You're gonna have about 2 or 3 assignments this week, so yes, I'm giving you more work, but I know that you like it. So see you guys later. Be good.